Hello children, in continuation with our earlier lecture, chemical reactions of aldehydes and ketones, today we will take up 4 more name reactions. These name reactions are Perkin reaction, Neovennickel condensation, Witting reaction and Mannich reaction. To start with, Perkin reaction. Perkin reaction involves treatment of aromatic aldehyde. Here we have taken benzaldehyde as example with aliphatic acid anhydrides in presence of sodium salt of carboxylic acid from which the anhydride has been derived as the base. Here we have taken acetic anhydride in this particular example. Acetic anhydride is the anhydride or a derivative of acetic acid. So we must use the salt of acetic acid. Here we are taking sodium salt of acetic acid. Now the addition product, this is the addition product or condensation product which is initially formed, loses one water molecule and results in the formation of cinnamic acid along with hydrolysis. Now the second byproduct here formed as is acetic acid. Now let us take up the mechanism of this reaction. The weak base, that is sodium salt of acetic acid, abstracts one hydrogen from the acetic anhydride. So here the acetic anhydride, whatever we are using, should have alpha hydrogens, because these alpha hydrogens, they are highly acidic in nature, as we have talked out and we have discussed in our last 2 lectures. So the base will abstract one of the alpha hydrogens from the acetic anhydride and it will result in the formation of a carbanion, that is a carbanion of the acetic anhydride is formed. This carbanion thus formed then adds to the carbonyl carbon of benzaldehyde, that is the carbanion of the anhydride adds to the carbonyl carbon of the aromatic aldehyde which we are using here, and this results in the formation of a anion 1. This anion 1 picks up a proton from acetic acid from the medium and results in the formation of you can say aldol type condensation product 2. This aldol type condensation product then loses one water molecule and results in the formation of the condensation product as I have shown here. Now the final condensation product then undergoes hydrolysis in presence of mild acid and this results in the formation of cinnamic acid, the alpha beta unsaturated carboxylic acid. Here by the hydrolysis, the anhydrides, they are known to give the carboxylic acid. So here we get the hydrolysis of the anhydride portion is done and you get here the cinnamic acid as the main product along with acetic acid. So this is about the Perkin's reaction. The next reaction which we will study today is Neovennickel reaction. Neovennickel reaction involves condensation of a aliphatic or aromatic aldehyde with an active methylene compound. Normally the active methylene compounds which we are using here, it can be malonic acid, it can be malonic ester, or it can be acetoacetic ester, etc. And the reaction is taken place in presence of a weak base like pyridine or piperidine to form alpha beta unsaturated compounds. In general, we can say if this is the aldehyde, aromatic or aliphatic aldehyde, this reacts with the active methylene compound in presence of weak base B and results in the formation of alpha beta unsaturated or olefinic compound. Here remember this CH2 is the active methylene group. Here it is flanked on either side by X and Y. These X and Y groups, they can be same, they can be different, but they are groups which contain electron withdrawing, which are electron withdrawing in nature. I have taken a typical example of reaction of benzaldehyde with ethyl acetoacetate. Here this is the active methylene group and we have 2 electron withdrawing units on either side of the active methylene group. Here the values of X and Y, they are different. They can be same or they can be different. Now base taken here is pyridine. We can also use piperidine as a weak base because this base is sufficient enough to withdraw a hydrogen from the active methylene compound. It will result in the formation of condensation product, which on hydrolysis results in the formation of cinnamic acid. Now let us discuss the mechanism. These sufficiently acidic hydrogen atoms of active methylene compounds, they can be easily abstracted by B base to form a carbonyl 1. Here this is the carbonyl which is formed. Carbonyl from the active methylene compound, it has been formed as carbonyl 1. Now this carbonyl 1 now attacks the carbonyl ketone of the aromatic or aliphatic aldehyde to give the anion 2. I will show you the anion 2. Here this carbonyl, this is the carbonyl compound and this is the base which is formed now behaving as a nucleophile, which is formed from the abstraction of the hydrogen from active methylene compound. Now this nucleophile or basic compound which is formed as the nucleophile from active methylene compound will attack the carbonyl carbon of the aldehyde. This can be aliphatic or it can be aromatic, and it results in the formation of the anion 2. This anion 2 then picks up a proton from the medium, resulting in the formation of a aldol type condensation compound as I have shown here. Now this condensation compound then undergoes dehydration with the loss of water and results in the formation of alpha beta unsaturated carbonyl compounds, as we have shown here, this condensation alpha beta unsaturated compound. This alpha beta unsaturated compound in the next step then undergoes hydrolysis to give us alpha beta unsaturated carboxylic acid. This is all about the Neovinagel reaction. The next reaction which we will study today is Wittig reaction. Wittig reaction is a reaction between an aldehyde or a ketone with a phosphorus halide to give a substituted alkene. Now here I would like to mention one thing. Scientist Wittig got a Nobel Prize. He is a Nobel Prize winner in chemistry. Now the phosphorus halides generally used, they are alkidine triphenyl phosphoranes. This is the common formula for a Wittig reagent, which is phosphorine halide and is actually this halide is actually alkidine. Alkidine means ene means double bond. This is alkyl alkidine triphenyl phosphorane. So this alkidine triphenyl phosphorane is commonly known as Wittig reagent. Now here we can take any aldehyde or ketone. This reacts with the Wittig reagent, results in the formation of a olefin, as you can see here. Now see here the reaction actually involves, here we have C double bond O. In this case Wittig reagent we have P double bond C R R dash. This R and R dash are alkyl groups or hydrogens. We can have here R as well as R dash as hydrogens. These R or R dash groups can be same, they can be different, they can be any of the hydrogen, alkyl or aryl groups. Now see here, this reaction basically involves a replacement of double bond O with double bond C R R dash group. So here we had C double bond O. Now here we end up with the formation of C double bond C R R dash. Here we had P double bond C R R dash, and we end up with the formation of P double bond O. So this is merely a reaction which involves a replacement of carbonyl oxygen, that is double bond O, by the group double bond C R dash. Now let us discuss the mechanism of this reaction. The phosphorus halide is a resonance hybrid of these two contributing structures, as you can see here. Here we can see that in one of the contributing structures, phosphorus acquires a positive charge and the carbon acquires a negative charge. Now due to the negative charge on the carbon, this halide exhibits as carbanion character and it initiates a nucleophilic attack on the carbonyl carbon of the aldehyde or ketone. So there you can see the nucleophilic attack is by the negatively charged carbon of the alate, which attacks nucleophilically on the carbonyl carbon of the aldehyde or the ketone. Now this results in the formation of a addition product commonly known as betaine. Now this betaine then further undergoes reaction via a cyclic TS. I have shown here the cyclic transition state, and via the cyclic intermediate or cyclic transition state, it results in the formation of a alkene and triphenyl phosphonium oxide. As you can see here in this particular case, we get a alkene and triphenyl phosphate oxide. After the Witting's reaction, well, I would like to tell you that you can prepare Witting's reaction for the preparation of many olefins, different types of olefins. Now, the fourth and the final reaction which we will take up today is Mannich reaction. Mannich reaction, this is a reaction between a active methylene compound again, and the active methylene compound in this case which we are taking is usually an enolizable ketone. And we also take here formaldehyde and an amine. Amine normally taken here is a secondary amine, and this reaction is taking place in presence of an acid to give a product 1. This product 1 on treatment with a base, strong base like sodium hydroxide, results in the formation of beta-methyl amino propiophenone, also known as a Mannich base, and this is the product of this reaction. So in Mannich reaction, we are taking, in this particular example, we are taking acetophenone as the enolizable ketone, we are taking formaldehyde, we are taking dimethylamine, the secondary amine, and in presence of HCl, they are reacting, resulting in the formation of addition product 1. This addition product thus formed then reacts with base in presence, or you can say this addition product in presence of a base like sodium hydroxide gives us beta dimethyl amino propiophenone, which is commonly known as a Mannich base. Now, let us take up the mechanism of this reaction. This mechanism we can divide in many parts, and the first part of the mechanism, the acid HCl which we have taken here, it is going to protonate the formaldehyde. Formaldehyde we are using here. The acid is going to protonate the carbonyl oxygen of the formaldehyde. Here, as you can see, this is protonating the carbonyl oxygen of the formaldehyde. Now this protonated formaldehyde is then attacked upon by the secondary amine, because here we have lone pair of electrons on the nitrogen atom. The attack of secondary amine on protonated formaldehyde results in the formation of a iminium salt, as you can see here. Now this iminium salt then loses a water molecule and results in the formation of a electrophile, as I have shown here. So iminium salt losing water, you can see here loss of water from the iminium salt, resulting in the formation of this electrophile, as I have shown here. Simultaneously, the acid will also protonate the acetophenone, the enolizable ketone which we have taken here. Because of the presence of the acid, this acetophenone undergoes ketoenol tautomerism, and we get here this enol form of the acetophenone. Now this enol form of the acetophenone here now acts as a nucleophile. It will have a nucleophile effect, as you can see here, and will then adds on the electrophile which we prepared in the first step. So attack of enolizable ketone on the electrophile which we have prepared earlier results in the formation of a addition compound. This addition compound 2, as we have seen here, then in the presence of a base, sodium hydroxide, will give us a free Mannich base. Mannich base is actually the common name given to the product by the scientist. Its actual name in this particular reaction is beta dimethyl amino propiophenone. So this is how we get the Mannich base, by the reaction of enolizable ketone, acetophenone as we have taken this case, formaldehyde and a secondary amine in presence of acid like HCl. So this is all for today's lecture. We will meet 1 or 2 days after this for our next lecture on aldehydes and ketones. Thank you, students.